Hey everyone, and welcome to today's video where we're going to be looking at your books again. This is a harsh but fair book review day where we look at books that have been submitted to the channel for me to review. And I'll go over things like keywords, cover design, interiors. So not only will it help people that have submitted the books, but it will also help yourselves as well if you're already producing and publishing books. Now, if you've not been here before, my name's Paul Marles. I do videos on how to make it, keep it, grow it. That's your money I'm talking about. And if you do like videos like that, then please do give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button and smash that notification bell to receive notification of when I produce more videos like this. So let's get straight into the first review. And this is a really interesting book because it's a niche I've never come across or heard of before. And this is a Cityscapes colouring book. Now, at first glance, really like the cover. Looks very interesting, looks very professional also. And we can see in the interior, this is the type of book we're looking at. It's a colouring book. There's all these sort of cityscape designs that people colour in. I didn't think there was a market for this at all when I first looked at it. However, when we go to put in the Cityscapes colouring book keyword in Amazon, we've only got 163 results, which, you know, for me, looks promising already. If you've not watched any of my other videos, you know that I try to look for books with search results of 1,000 or less, which means the competition isn't huge, which means there's a good chance of ranking, particularly on the first page, ideally at number one, but on the first page. And then what I normally do is then go and look at the first page to see if we can find 3 or more books with bestsellers ranks of less than 300,000, because if we find those, it means those books are selling. It means there's a market for these types of books. So I went and, as I said, had a look, 163 results, which is good, and I was surprised by the bestsellers ranks of some of these books. Now this is a glow-in-the-dark colouring book, bestsellers rank of 167,000, but here we are, 30 extreme challenges to complete and colour. That's 18,000. Don't know if that's just a colouring book on its own, but here we have one here. Looks like Cityscapes colouring pages, 24,000. Fantastic cities to colour, 8,946. Again, looking good. Here's another one, 267,000. So we've already met that criteria of 3 or more books of bestsellers ranks of less than 300,000. So there's definitely a market here for these particular types of books. Here's another one, City Colouring Book, 42,000. So, as I said, really surprised by this. Good keyword. Use the keyword in the title. Looking at the subtitle, looks okay. What I might have done is got the word colour in there. So something like 60 pages of peaceful cityscapes and quaint towns in isometric perspective to colour. Just so we're getting that extra keyword in there. And description looks fine as well. Pricing, $7. I'd probably put this at $6.99. So it looks like it's made at least one sale. It's got a bestsellers rank. What I would do with this to try and get sales, I mean, looking at it, it's really good quality, it's professionally done. I'd probably run an Amazon ad on it. Just start with an auto ad, $5 daily budget, 20 cents per bid. If you're not familiar with Amazon ads, check out my playlist on Amazon ads where I go from sort of, you know, the basics of starting an auto ad. So yeah, I would run an auto ad campaign on this to start with, or maybe even add on to that a manual exact keyword ad, just targeting that one keyword, Cityscapes colouring book, and see what happens. See if you can get those impressions, and if you're getting those impressions, see what's happening with the clicks. That will tell you really if the cover is really attracting buyers and give you an idea of what the market's like. But yeah, really like it, very good. Next book, Advent Calendar colouring book. So we should expect this to be a particularly popular niche coming up to the Christmas holiday period. Advent Calendar colouring book. Let's have a look at that keyword, 430 results. That's good. Less than 1,000, like that. And I'm sure, yeah, as we can see here, look at the bestsellers ranks. They're starting to fall already, which means that the sales are going up. And we've got 67,000. Well, that's a sponsored one, but we've got 13,000, 245,000, 169,000. Really good. Really good potential with this particular niche. Price looks reasonable, $6.99. Had a look inside, didn't really see much. It only looks like it's showing, I don't know, is this inside the book? It looks like there's colour inside the book, but I don't know, this could be being printed in black and white. The only issue with that, if this is the inside of the book and it is colour, it's going to cost quite a bit of money, which will eat away at the profit margin. If it's being printed in black and white, you may get customers who looked at this expecting a colour interior, getting a black and white interior and leaving a bad review. So just bear that in mind. So good potential niche, not too many search results. The only thing I think that's putting me off this is the cover design. It looks a bit plain. I mean, look at all these. These are all sort of brightly coloured, Christmassy theme. This looks like it's a bit too plain, a bit too much white there, and a bit of, you know, clip art here in the corner of the holly. So maybe even just doing a coloured background with this black and white picture on top may be a bit better. But yeah, I think it's the cover design that's probably preventing people from, or putting people off clicking on this and getting those sales. Made at least one sale by the look of it. So yeah, I think overall a good niche. Obviously you're only going to get the sales at Christmas, they'll drop off after that, but you can capitalise on it. I would maybe just update the cover design, re-upload it and go from there, see what happens. Next one, we've got this alphabet and number tracing workbook. Looking at the keywords for this alphabet and numbers tracing workbook, which I put into Amazon, we've got 1,000 results. So 1,000 or less is my target, so this meets that target. Reminder to all those that will ask, why am I looking at in all? Well, I've done a video on this, I'll leave the link above. So you've got the main keyword in the title, and the subtitle looks okay, letter and number practice book for 3 to 6 year olds, so we know who the target market is, 3 to 6 year olds. Again, I like these types of descriptions where you've got a sentence or two and then bullet points, because they're really easy to scan by customers. Let's take a look at the inside. Okay, looks fairly basic. These graphics here, I mean, you've got this, looks like a hand-drawn alligator. Yeah, do look a bit on the basic side, but, you know, may put some customers off, maybe not. But certainly, you know, is in keeping with this sort of book. The only thing that tends to put me off again with this one is the cover. I mean, looking at the vertical, was it the vertical horizontal alignment of these vertical alignment? I think you've got small space there between alphabet and then a bigger space, which looks a bit odd. You need to sort that out. I'm not keen on this graphic at the top here. I'd probably pull all, you know, get rid of that crayon type picture and pull all of this up a bit further. Maybe make this a bit bolder, the tracing workbook bit, and yeah, maybe experiment with the cover just to see if you can do something to get those clicks and get those sales. Have you made any sales? Yeah, it looks like you made at least one. But overall, so far, it's looking good in terms of people have been doing their keyword research, getting those keywords that have the lower search numbers and putting them in the titles and getting keywords in the subtitles as well. So I'm liking this so far. Just a quick look at sales for these. I don't really need to look because I know these types of books sell ridiculously well, and you can see all these low bestsellers ranks that we've got here. And I've just noticed this. You're actually ranking on the first page for this keyword, which is excellent. So there you go, guys. Here's an example. If you use the right keywords, put them in the title, you can rank. So, as you're ranking on that first page, you've got good potential to make sales here. Start looking at that cover design, maybe just changing it a little bit, experimenting with colours, and see if you can get those clicks and sales. That's great potential. Like it a lot. Next book we've got here is another handwriting book for kids, Cursive handwriting workbook for kids. Again, this is a niche that sells very well all year round, and you've got the main keyword in the title. This is a very competitive market, so it's important to you know, really do your keyword research, again, which has happened here by the looks of it, because you've got that keyword in the title. Let's have a look at the search results. 955. There you go. So a keyword here you can potentially rank for. Let's just have a look, see if you are on the first page for this one. Doesn't appear so at the moment. So that's good. You've got a keyword that's not too competitive. This niche is making lots of sales. The handwriting niches is superb. I've done videos on this. It's in my activity book playlists. Price $6.99 looks okay. description looks okay. I'm not fond of these little emojis, but you know, that's fine. I'd prefer to do bullet points. The only thing that's putting me off slightly is, again, with this, the cover, which I think might be preventing you from getting those clicks and getting those sales. Looks like you've made at least one sale because you've got a bestsellers rank. What I'm not keen on, what puts me off, is this is for kids, and I'm not keen on this cursive font here. I'd probably get rid of this, pull all this graphic element down towards the lower half of the book, and on the handwriting page on this graphic, write some cursive tracing letters. So you're giving an example to potential buyers of what's in the book, and have this bold title at the top, maybe a different font or a different colour. As we can see here, these types of books that are selling well, they've got that sort of general recipe with the title at the top, and then at the lower half you've got examples of what the cursive interior is going to look like. So that's what I would do for this, because again, it's a potentially really good selling niche. The next one, my Toddler colouring book. Now, before we look at the cover, let's have a look at the title. So, Toddler colouring book, 10,000 results, extremely competitive keyword. So it's going to be very difficult to rank. It's going to be very difficult for you to get your book out there in front of people. So already we're off to a difficult start. Before we get onto the colour, just a quick note, guys. If you are enjoying this video and getting benefit from it, then please do give it a thumbs up. It helps with the algorithm on YouTube. And also, if you're a beginner at this and not knowing much of what I'm talking about, then check out my book tutorial playlist, where I go from sort of the beginning on, you know, keyword research, how to create interiors and covers, that sort of thing. Okay, so let's get to the cover. Now, I'm not keen on this cover at all. One, I don't like the shade of yellow. It looks more like a mustard colour, which I don't think is particularly attractive to kids. And it looks a little bit amateurish to me. It's just like this standard sort of clip art that's scattered around on the cover. I'm not keen on the font. Let's have a look inside. There's no examples of what the inside looks like except on the back cover. Yeah, they look like sort of very basic interior pictures to colour. And it also looks like there's some letter tracing here, which might confuse people who are buying this book. Either do a letter tracing book or do a colouring book. I wouldn't necessarily combine the two unless you're going to start calling it an activity book and making it more known by looking at this maybe on the cover that it's got letter tracing in there as well. But I think this cover does need a redesign in terms of the fonts and the graphics you're using to demonstrate this as being a colouring book. But as I said earlier, I think this is the biggest difficulty this book is going to face is that the main keyword that's been chosen to put in the title is extremely competitive. So that's 5 books. I think overall pretty impressed with the use of the keywords and the use of the keywords in the titles to try and get ranked organically on Amazon. And one book there with a particularly good cover, which I think just needs Amazon ads run on it. But overall, it looks like, you know, books that are being submitted are moving in the right direction. I think it's important to really look at those cover designs. They don't have to be fancy, they just have to look professional and maybe look a little bit different to stand out from the crowd. And with that, I think there's a good chance of some of these books making sales. So that's it for today. If you want to submit your books, at the moment, if you DM me on Instagram and supply me with the ASIN number of just one book, okay? Don't sort of give me a whole list of ASIN numbers, because that puts me off, you know, because then I've got to sit through and search through each one. Just send me one that you want me to look at and I'll put it on my list. The list is quite big, so there is a bit of a wait there, but I'll try and get through to it. So that's it, guys. If you did enjoy the video, then please do give it a thumbs up. If not, give it a thumbs down, but make sure you hit the subscribe button, smash that notification bell, and until next time, goodbye.